goal at the ThinkTech Accelerator is to ensure that we are sourcing solutions that help community bankers flourish and help them remain competitive, efficient, and profitable.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mike Stevens.
All right, well, welcome to GSBC. So happy to be able to host you. As you heard earlier, our session theme is Rooted for Growth, Connections, Knowledge, and Momentum. My thanks to ICBA for modeling this Think Tank Accelerator Expo around our theme. This event has everything, new faces and perspectives, fresh thinking to solve problems, all to generate enthusiasm and a sense of optimism about the future. Connections, knowledge, and momentum. There is no better role that GSBC can play than to bring people together. So my sincere thanks to the innovators for investing in this initiative and seeking to work with this really critical industry. Banking provides a critical foundation to our economy and the daily lives of our citizens. We need a vibrant banking system supported by technology that enables us to enhance the relationship business model at the core of community banking. We are eager to see and engage in your work. It's my pleasure to introduce Charles Potts, the Executive Vice President of Innovation at ICBA.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you to your wonderful team, to your board, your trustees for inviting us back, trusting in us. I'm glad we did such a good job last year. And thank you and welcome to everybody here, to the students, to our bankers who are online watching this, to our partners who are here and also watching this. Thank you for making this a very welcoming environment for us and for the entrepreneurs that we've brought here this week. It's great to be here again at the Graduate School of Banking, surrounded by the next generation of community banking leadership. Today is about innovation. It's not just a buzzword, but as a strategic imperative for the future of community banking. At ICBA, innovation isn't optional. It's essential. We are focused on empowering community banks to flourish in this rapidly changing digital and hyper-competitive environment. Many of you are living and experiencing this every day inside of your banks. Our innovation efforts are really built around practical outcomes, stronger banks, better customer experiences, and tools that help you compete and win, making community banks more competitive, more efficient, more profitable. Our innovation initiatives at ICBA follow along three kind of common principles, common pillars that we focus on in the things that we do. Acceleration and collaboration. It's the essence of what you're going to see here today, where we bring cutting-edge fintechs and bankers together. Education and enablement. It's a core principle of ICBA, but it's also where we teach fintechs everything they need to know about you and community banks. And in programs like our Innovation Academy, we help bankers like yourselves build innovation skills, capacity, and confidence. And through building our ecosystem partnerships, like being here at GSBC, we're cultivating a nationwide community of like-minded innovators and community bankers. In 2024, early last year, we opened the ICBA Center for Innovation in Atlanta, A-Town down. Thank you, Christian, for supporting. And this is a dedicated state-of-the-art space for our innovation work. It's more than a building. It's more than an office. It's a physical and cultural home for community bank innovation. It's the front door for community bank innovation. It's essential to what we as ICBA carry as our mission. And it is this ecosystem. Located in one of the country's top fintech hubs, the center provides co-work space for our entrepreneurs, our graduates of our program, and our innovation team and our partners. It provides a home for our year-round programming. It also provides direct access between the fintech entrepreneurs and community bankers, and it's the home to our world-class ICBA ThinkTech Accelerator program. The ICBA ThinkTech Accelerator program, which you're going to witness really a byproduct of that, good to see you, Tracy, one of our alums, is our flagship program. It's our crown jewel, and it's become the most influential innovation initiative in the community banking industry. Since launching our first cohort in 2019, we've accelerated over 60 companies solving real-world banking problems in areas like fraud, compliance, risk management, lending, payments, and much more. These aren't just big bank solutions that have been retrofitted for community banks. They're built for you, with you, hand in glove with community bankers, and thanks to the hands-on engagement by many bankers like you from across this country. And the results speak for themselves. Real partnerships, real implementations, real impact on the community bank world. Now, why this matters? Innovation is not just about chasing trends. It's about staying relevant. It's about making sure our local banks remain pillars of their communities for generations to come. And that's why this program matters, and that's why your involvement matters. Now, one of the things that we as ICBA do as part of our education pillar, and part of our commitment, continued commitment to create and promote an environment where community banks flourish, is our Lead Forward Conference, the premier leadership conference designed exclusively for community banks, which this year will be in Bloomington, Minnesota, September 8th through 9th. Lead Forward offers 2 days of cutting-edge content and expert insights tailored for emerging bank leaders. The summit combines leadership, technical banking, and advocacy to empower community bankers with the skills, confidence, and connections they needed for success. Now, I hope you enjoy this day. I hope you dig into what these companies are going to present to you, lean into this information that's going to be shared with you, and think about how it can help power your banks, because ultimately our job is to make sure we're outfitting you with the skills and capabilities and solutions you need to make your banks better. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the key player for today, our managing director of our ThinkTech Accelerator program, Stephanie Foster, who will MC the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Welcome again, everybody. We're excited to have you here with us. Hello to all of the bankers online that are following the event. Be back here at the GSBC for showcase number 9 already. Can you guys imagine? This is our 9th cohort since we started doing this. I want to ask a quick question before we get started. If you were here last year and got to watch the showcase live, can you raise your hand? Awesome. Thank you for coming back. So I am your MC for today, and over the next 90 minutes, you will have the opportunity to witness 6 of our cohort companies. They're going to come in, they're going to pitch, demo. You get a chance to see what problems they are solving for you, for our bankers, to keep you competitive, efficient, and profitable. Not only do you get to watch those pitches today, you will also have a chance to vote for our coveted award, Banker's Choice. So please pay attention because your vote will count today. What else? We will be providing some other awards. We have our MVP award for most valuable participant, and also the All Heart Award that will be presented today. So be on the lookout for those as well. Again, we're very excited to be here. Thank you so much for participating, and we're gonna get this show on the road. Before we get started, I do want to take a minute to thank all of our sponsors. We have 2 that are present here today, and you will get a chance to hear from Wipfli as well as Fiserv. And now, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Arjun Bisson, founder and CEO of Overwatch Data.
Hey everyone, it's so great to be here. I'm Arjun, CEO and co-founder of Overwatch Data. We're a cyber and fraud threat intelligence platform particularly built for community banks. We leverage an army of AI agents and human experts that act on your behalf and find threats out there for you. I'm sure you guys know better than anyone that banks are particular targets for cybercrime, especially as we've moved more and more of our business into the digital space. We've become more vulnerable to these cyber criminals. And the threats are constantly evolving. Just yesterday, my co-founder presented to Congress about how cyber criminals are leveraging AI to attack banks. And we see this quarter on quarter, these new tools and techniques targeting the financial services sector. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the solutions for security are very manual and dispersed. So you end up needing a lot of different vendors with point fixes and then a team to staff that up, which often is a real challenge for community banks. And as a result, they usually have some of the lowest visibility into how they're being targeted by cyber criminals, especially in these illicit spaces where cyber criminals are operating, whether that's the dark web, deep web, or domains that are being registered, et cetera. And so we want to protect against any risks that are out there against community banks and make sure there's no feeling that community banks are less secure than larger financial institutions. Through this program, we've been presenting community banks that we've met with, over 50, with the kind of threat intelligence that's out there about them in these illicit spaces. There literally hasn't been a single bank that we haven't found severe threats against by being able to surface their compromised checks, compromised user credentials or employee credentials, credit cards that have been compromised, domains that have been spoofed, and the list goes on. Really, there's so much out there outside the perimeter targeting your bank that we've been able to help get banks ahead of. And all we need is your domain name, company name, and BIN numbers. I'm going to ask you to remember those because we have a little surprise or game for you right at the end. But if you have a few minutes now, look up your BIN numbers and be ready for that. So that's how we act as a partner to community banks, helping them get ahead of checks, card fraud, phishing and domain spoofing, account takeovers, breaches and ransomware that leverage those compromised credentials, including third-party risk and vulnerability management. Without Overwatch, when we work with larger banks, we found that they needed many, many vendors, up to 4 to 5 vendors, plus an in-house team to build this kind of capability. But with Overwatch, this capacity is now available to smaller financial institutions. And because we price extremely competitively in a modular way, and we don't need to integrate at all with any of your core or internal solutions, we can actually start feeding you very actionable intelligence immediately within 24 hours. We're SOC 2 Type 2 certified, so we can onboard with relative ease. And thanks to this amazing program, we've developed an essentials product for ICBA members, priced at a very attractive rate for the kinds of things that we've heard from banks that are like keeping them up at night. That's cards, credentials, and checks. And so for that basic bundle, we can price at a much more attractive point. And should you be interested in other kinds of intelligence, you can consider the enterprise tier. Similarly, for the domain monitoring, we're both able to monitor and submit the takedowns at a very attractive price as well. We started by working with really large financial institutions like Visa, Fidelity, DoorDash, and others. But we found our model works really well for community banks, and we've already seen quite a lot of traction with the community banking sector through this program. And working with Visa, FS-ISAC, and law enforcement, which is the NCFTA, we're really at the node. So one thing that bankers really appreciate is not just their vulnerabilities, but what's happening in the sector? What are the latest trends this last quarter? What are the new tools that are being leveraged? And what can we do to defend proactively? And so we've been sharing those alerts as well. Finally, this has helped our customers see 6 times more critical risks while saving analysts time at the same time. Our team has deep expertise in the cybercrime and AI industry across Stripe, Google, and government as well. And lastly, but not least, I'd love for you, this is my little Oprah moment where you all get free dark web assessments. If you scan this QR code, all we need is the BIN numbers and your domains and your company name, and we'll give you a scorecard on just how many checks are out there on your financial institutions, how many compromised cards, and how many compromised credentials are out there right now, hopefully helping you get a sense of how exposed you might be. Thank you again. It's Overwatch Data, and I'm Arjun. Look forward to chatting tomorrow. Thanks.
Please welcome Siki Ballard from Chicago, Illinois, representing Beta Financial Services, Beta Score.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Siki Ballard. I'm the founder, chief executive of Beta Financial Services. Our product is the Beta Score. It is a small business discovery and credit scoring platform for community banks who lend to small businesses. This here is a picture of my father, taken the year that I was born, also the year that he started his company, which was a pulpwood logging company. People would pay him to clear land to make way for commercial and residential development. He would take the lumber, sell it to the local paper mill. That was his business. He did quite successful, or he was quite successful in North Carolina, successful enough at least to feed my family of 10 siblings. But he had a grand ambition to expand his business beyond North Carolina, but he needed to get financing in order to invest in his fleet. He's taking a part off of an old tractor to put onto a tractor he's using for the business, so he didn't want to send rickety 18-wheelers across state lines. He went to a number of banks to acquire financing, and unfortunately, he did not succeed in securing financing. I am of the belief that this is an experience that is not unique to my father. It's the experience of millions of small businesses across the country, as expressed in SBA surveys and Federal Reserve surveys. And I believe the root cause of this challenge is directly related to the challenges that community banks face when underwriting small businesses. Let's begin at the beginning. Business development. Loan officers are quite literally pounding the pavement to bring new businesses into the bank. They're going to chambers of commerce parties. We all know how exciting those are. To meet businesses where they aggregate, it's a relationship-driven business. It's also incredibly time-consuming and tedious. Once you've gotten the business into the bank, you've then got to gather information in order to underwrite a loan. And that also can be a very tedious process. And it's a big if that you get the documents in order. Once you've gotten the documents, you've then got to analyze them. You've got to spread the financials. You've got to draft credit memos. All of this is driving the per loan cost through the roof. And it makes the small dollar loans exactly the type that my father was applying for, the types that many other small businesses are applying for. It makes them cost prohibitive for the bank to even attend to. Beta Score solves this problem in 3 discrete ways. The first and most important is as a powerful engine for lead generation. Your bankers are able to search our database locally or nationally for businesses based on parameters that are important to them. So if they have a certain geographical domain, certain industry domain, or perhaps they want to sort for the top credit grade of chiropractors in Durango, Colorado, and they can get a list of businesses based on that. What this ultimately enables is for your bankers to spend more time on businesses that are bankable, less time on businesses that are not bankable. That brings me to our second value proposition, which is our Beta Score. It is a proprietary credit score. We are able to determine whether a small business loan will be charged off or paid in full with nearly 98% accuracy. And that is based entirely on the comprehensiveness of our data. We take a layered approach. We're gathering data from public sources, online sources, private sources. This is in stark contrast to the incumbents, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax. they are relying on a very small subset of data to assess credit risk. They're looking at things like UCC filings and trade disputes. The biggest problem there, folks, is that most businesses don't get into trade disputes. So they just don't generate that business on a day-to-day basis, which means they're left out of the calculation. If you as a banker go to Dun & Bradstreet with 10 businesses, you'll get a result for 2. Good luck with the other 8. In our case, we're able to generate beta scores on virtually any small business nationwide. And because we built the experience and the pipes to feed the data that powers beta score, that means your bankers don't have to. We're collecting the data that you would collect in the normal process of underwriting financials, bank statements, taxes, and the like. I want to walk you through very quickly this experience. We're going to start big and go small. We're going to start in Colorado, and we're going to see the search result there. We got about 691,000 businesses in Colorado, but we're going to put in a zip code to narrow it down a little bit. And this zip code is in Durango, Colorado, which is population 19,500. They've got 1,200 businesses, very entrepreneurial people. My sciatica has been giving me all kinds of problems for the last 2 weeks. So we're going to look up chiropractors, maybe somebody who can help me out. And we're going to click on the third result. And we've got Durango Chiropractic. This is a real business. They've got a 96 beta score. You can see a little summary of their financials. And we're going to ask the AI to explain what that beta score means. This is not a black box. If you ask the AI to explain itself, it will. And it will also tell you what data is missing. We're now going to upload our hypothetical bank's credit policy and ask the AI if this business is in line with our bank's credit policy. Turns out they are, but as you can see, we've got positive factors for eligibility. We've also got unclear and missing information. We're also going to ask the AI to draft a credit memo for a loan. And as you can see, the AI is able to return a result for the credit memo in line with credit committee standards. This does not require core integration. Once you log in or once you onboard, it's a quick sign up for login. And I'm gonna get right here to the last slide. This is my leadership team. It's me and my dad. It's my chief technology officer, Rashant, and his dad, and our chief marketing and sales officer, Alina, with her dad. Our parents are all small business owners. We care a lot about their outcomes. I think you also care a lot about their outcomes, and that's a great place for us to start. Thank you very much.
This program would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. So at this time, I'd like to ask the Wipfli team to please come up to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. We're really excited to be a sponsor of this event. We are Wipfli. We're a full-service accounting firm and do a lot of the traditional things you expect: audit, tax, internal audit, compliance. We also do things in an advisory role. We want your organizations to grow and thrive. We focus on community banks and the fintechs that support them, and that's why we're here today.
Thanks, Mike. I'll just build on that. If you think about, the traditional sense of a consulting firm, we like to think of ourselves as taking that traditional approach, helping companies, though, become innovative. So a lot of times, even on the banking side, there might be places where you want to be able to move with speed, move with having consultants maybe with different perspectives. So we have a lot of clients, we have a lot of networking people within our networks that are very similar to you. So we take things, even what we learn in those businesses, what doesn't work, which is actually you learn more of and you don't waste a lot of time, to use individuals within our firm to be able to take those different perspectives to help you innovate your companies. We also focus on M&A. So a lot of times within that is change management, right? You have new people, new processes, new technologies either coming in or spinning out. So we can help through that process with the people, with the process, and with the technology.
Nice job, Michelle. Nice job, Mike. My name's Kevin Smith. I'm a partner in the firm, and I'm on the leadership team. Specifically, I lead the technology vertical. Before I was on a leadership team at a 3,500-person accounting firm, I came up through tech. I've been zero to revenue twice for the tech folks. For the bankers, I've been that loan that kept you up at night as they tried to get a tech company off the ground. That was me. I lead, as I said, the tech vertical. We also do a lot of work in financial services And it's that kind of combination. So I have a counterpart, leads financial services nationally for the firm. I lead technology nationally for the firm. And it's that combination that makes this community really valuable to us. And I would say probably makes us really valuable to the community as well, far beyond the check that Charles turns me over and shakes me until it comes out of my pocket each year. So really glad to be here. Look forward to spending a little bit of time with you guys.
Thank you, Wipfli. Now, please welcome Ravi Loganathan, representing Sardine.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to talk about Sardine, and Sardine is a comprehensive fraud risk compliance platform that helps you protect your customers and the bank. So when you look at what's happening in the marketplace today, I'm going to say that we are very much in the midst of a scamdemic. You now know that there are AI tools that are out there in the marketplace. Just like average consumers like us, we use ChatGPT. The bad guys now have AI tooling to rapidly scale their fraud attacks that you've never seen before. They can scale it in a very precise manner that includes deep fakes and so forth. That makes your bank vulnerable, particularly through your digital channels. So it's increasingly difficult to differentiate between good customers and fraudsters. Hence, you need a comprehensive new stack that is able to detect modern fraud, and that's what we do. What we bring to the table is a comprehensive view of your customer across your digital channels and across all the critical workflows. So that starts from account opening to account funding, payment initiation, and login. So on the account opening side, KYC, KYB, sanction screening, AML. From an account funding point of view, we do account verification, help you protect your debit and credit card platforms. And then on the payment side, we process and risk assess all transactions that are coming through all rails, but we have a particular focus on RTP, that's FedNow and TCH as well. And then on the login side, we help protect your front end, so account takeovers, especially social engineering fraud, phishing and malware as well. So think of Sardine as that comprehensive fraud risk compliance across all your workflow. And again, this is very modular, so we grow with you. You may have specific needs as the bank grows your digital channels, and we're able to plug and play. The core technology that we're bringing to the table to help detect these modern fraud vectors is a combination of device and behavioral biometrics. So when I say device, we're talking about, let's say, your bank account header data information is saying Ravi is based in Boulder, Colorado, but the login for your online banking channel is coming in from Lagos, Nigeria. So based on location signals on the device, we're able to flag that as a high-risk transaction and alert the bank. At the same time, let's say if I'm cutting and pasting critical credentials in, let's say, in the login process or even in the account opening process, our behavioral biometric tech behind the scenes is able to detect that and flag that as high risk. So it's a combination of both device and behavior that we're able to assess every time someone is interacting with your digital channels and alert the bank. On top of that detection capability, we bring a stack of additional data. So we work with all the other third-party vendors who are out there that, for example, prove for your telco data, e-mileage for your phone fraud data, email data. We work with early warning systems for your consortium data, for example, your account data and your DDA data to see if those have been flagged for fraud. We bring all of that together in real time to risk assess that transaction. And the key here is before it's authorized. And then on top of all of that detection capability, we also offer an operational stack, which is real-time risking engine. On top of that, a dashboard and a case management capability for your operational stack. Given we have been in business now for 5 years and we continue to scale, we also have a broad view of all the devices that are out there in the marketplace. Our device coverage is right now over 2.5 billion devices. So we are now able to, in a very precise manner, differentiate between good and bad devices. Given we also work across not only banks, but also other verticals such as marketplaces and exchanges, we get a broader coverage of who those devices are and are they in good standing or not. And then, as I mentioned, a broader data coverage that goes across all available data. So you as a bank don't have to sign up with third-party data vendors. We do all the curation and bring that data to the table. I wanted to quickly show you a demo of what's happening. And in this case, this is a deep fake, and this is a deep fake of Tom Cruise. So we do liveliness tests for your digital account opening through a video chat channel. And what we're doing here is, in this deep fake, we have now engineered Tom. What is behind the scenes, what's happening is our device and behavioral biometrics capability is detecting it as a deep fake. You see that as a high-risk transaction in the dashboard. You see that we have detected a bot and an emulator. So this is a pretty good example of how we risk assess transactions in real time with our device and behavior capability. And then finally, we work across a number of institutions, not only financial institutions. So we bring you the benefit of consortium signals, and then we are also well-funded, so we're here for the long term. And then finally, a quick example of how we're doing from deploying our stack. We're working with FIS in this regard, where we are essentially risking all transactions that come through the bank, money movement hub, and that is essentially ACH wire on all the RTP rails. So it's a good example of how our stack is working in real time. And then finally, on the pricing structure, there are three components to the pricing. It's device and behavior, transaction monitoring, and our dashboarding capabilities that really drive the pricing for the bank. And then I know it's important to integrate with the cores and processors and other integrators. So we have already done the work with FIS. Our service is available there. We're working with Q2. We are working with Jack Henry. And then we're in the process, early days, of integrating into the banking hub of Fiserv. So in conclusion, what we bring to the table is three things. One, modern detection capability so you can confidently expand on your digital channels. Two, operational efficiency. So we are consolidating all of our multiple vendors into a single solution. And then finally, consortium signals, so you benefit from all others who are using our platform to drive intelligence. Thank you for your time. We hope to catch up tomorrow.
From Clockout, please welcome Juan Huaro Blanco.
People have been getting paid on a biweekly basis for the past 80 years. And Earned Wage Access came to market as a solution that enables workers to get paid on demand. And it's become essential for people due to its convenience and affordability in comparison to turning to payday loans or overdrafting their account in time of a liquidity crunch. Today, millions of Americans are using Earned Wage Access through their employers and standalone apps. But did you know that 73% of bank customers would use an Earned Wage Access service if offered by their bank? It makes sense, right? Banks are where people trust their finances most. Nevertheless, they're not equipped with the right technology to deliver this service, until now. Hello, everyone. I'm Juan, the founder and CEO at Clockout, where I'm introducing the first Earned Wage Access platform that powers this service from the digital banking platform. And you might ask, will my customers use it? And the answer is yes. About 1 in 3 people adopt the Earned Wage Access service and advance between 8 and 10 times per month. The average advance size is about $78 per advance, and they're willing to pay between $2 up to $5 to get their money early. And the market opportunity that we're bringing to the community banking space is to offer this service to capture direct deposits, generate additional non-interest income, and gaining a true competitive edge across your competitors. Let me show you how. With our Earned Wage Access solution, we white label the whole service, and we're able to do it through a one-stop shop platform that aggregates multiple components, from mobile banking to banking core integrations, over 1,600 payroll and time and attendance systems. And the best part of all is that it's fully customizable by your institution. Let me share you a demo of our solution embedded within Q2's mobile banking platform. Similar to the checking and a saving account in the homepage, customers are able to opt in for the early pay service from it. The onboarding process is very simple. They start by connecting their payroll account. We have over 1,600, so in this case, the customer gets paid through ADP, and the customer uses their own ADP credentials to sign in for the service. This is what gives Clockout all the relevant income data to know exactly how much that customer has earned at a specific point in time. After they link their payroll account, they select the account where they want to send their advances into and resettle them from, and then accept the terms and conditions of the service. Right now in the back end, when we continue, we cross-reference your direct deposit allocation with that account information, and if it doesn't match, we prompt you to do a full direct deposit switch, full paycheck, every paycheck into your bank with a single click of a button in order to access the on-demand pay service. Once onboarded in the solution, we're going to prompt them into the home screen of the product, where this customer has worked one shift and has earned $150, and that available balance is fully customizable by your bank. If your customers need cash in a pinch, they're simply able to click the advance button, select the amount between a slider and pre-made button amounts, and two speeds of transfer, a standard free transfer and an instant transfer where its fee is customizable and yours to monetize as the bank. In this case, the customer is advancing $25 and the bank is charging a $199 fee for that advance. In the back end, essentially what we're moving is $23.01 from your pre-funded account into the customer's preferred account. In the billing and history section, your customer is also able to break down the usage of the service by pay period. So on May 19th, I want to see how I use the service. I can break down my net pay, the fees, my advances, and what is the residual pay after we have deducted their advance amount in that pay period. And finally, in the managed jobs section, which is very important, for customers that have multiple jobs, they're able to link multiple payroll accounts and have access to those earnings as long as they have their direct deposit at your bank. And the good thing is that you're able to stick with the customer from job to job as well. If they start working at McDonald's, but they continue to work at Clockout, we pay through Gusto, for example, all they have to do is link their Gusto account, set up my Gusto direct deposit at your bank, and be able to earn on demand across multiple jobs for the rest of my professional career. And as you saw here in the demo, you're able to gain value across the customer's journey, starting in the enrollment process where you acquire direct deposits from the service. When customers are advancing wages, you're able to generate additional non-interest income. And finally, you could cross-sell other services with the use of those wages, like the use of a debit card, saving products, investment products, and paying other loans as well. We're a venture-backed company, and really our efforts so far have been in planting the seeds and integrating our solution within mobile banking providers and banking cores to offer a solution that's integratable from digital banking and for FIS and Fiserv customers as well, providing a standalone app for the moment. And really right now, it's the perfect time to offer this service because it's very relevant to customers. Today, there's inflation, credit card debt is an all-time high, and savings are an all-time low. And as a bank, you have everything to win. You have the customer relationships, the brand equity, the capital, and the compliance structure to offer a more convenient and affordable service to the end customer while really providing a lifeline to them. We would love to help you accelerate your process into offering an earned wage access solution, as we believe that this will become the next table stakes product in the next 12 to 18 months. Thank you very much, and we hope you vote for us, and we'll see each other tomorrow.
Again, we do this program twice a year for 20 weeks, and we cannot do it without the generous support of our sponsors. At this time, please let's welcome Fiserv for a few words.
Hi, everybody. Gerard Vecito, Vice President of Product Management for our Experience Digital team at Fiserv. So I wanted to say thank you. I heard some premier customers back there, so thank you. So Fiserv is a global leader of financial technology and payments. We serve thousands of customers in financial institutions, businesses, customers across more than 100 countries. Our core mission is to move more than just money. We move innovation, and we help you as financial institutions and community bankers grow. At the heart of what we do is innovation, and we power everything from digital banking to core account processing and real-time payments and merchant acquiring, whether it's helping a community bank like yourselves modernize, or its infrastructure, or help enable a small business to accept payments online or in store, we deliver the technology that keeps the financial world moving. And as of just today, we were named one of CNBC's top fintech companies in the world. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see all of you here. It's a pleasure to be up here and as one of your sponsors. And really great luck, good luck, and great presentation so far from the cohort. Thank you.
Thank you, Fiserv. Now, please welcome Steve Shillingford from DeepSea.
I'm Steve. I'm from DeepSea. I'm the founder and CEO. DeepSea is an agentic platform for automating and orchestrating complex workflows inside banks. Now, that sounds like a lot of buzzword bingo, I'm sure, but I'm really here to explain to you how community banks can leverage the innovation curve that is sort of exploding around AI to transform your businesses and really take advantage without having to stitch together lots of custom code, point solutions, or transforming your teams with sort of radical rework. Now, we all know that we're sort of faced with lots of manual and mundane processes in our sort of middle and back office operations. We've got this inefficient process, but it also makes it challenging to attract talent. And that talent is the same sort of person using AI on their personal device. And when they come to work, they sort of expect to have that experience in their everyday jobs. On the other side, or the other side of the equation, you have very senior people who are getting ready to retire with deep domain and institutional knowledge about your individual banks that are getting ready to sort of leave the operation. And the worry is that they're going to leave the operation with all that institutional knowledge going out the door with them. This is an example of one of those very complex sort of automations. We've all seen this. This is meant to be a very busy slide, by the way. And the point here is you can see we have many teams, sometimes it's one person in the bank. And what they do is they have to manually review content. Sometimes they have to rekey it to different systems, all in the effort to move a loan application from application to funding in an efficient path. And this is a terrible job for a human to do. The point is, this is a perfect application for AI, but how? In our case, and I'm going to talk about the loan ops agent from DeepSea, you can actually have a machine, an AI agent, do all of that manual work on behalf of that person, basically replacing all of that manual and mundane and tedious work, and then have the person manage the agent. So think about that from the standpoint of, instead of coming into work every day, having to push Excel files and PDFs and heaven forbid, paper, you can actually go to a console and look at what the machine did, decide if you want to approve it or not, and push it through the system, and take processes that would take days, hours, down to minutes. So what I want to do now is just take you through a little bit of our, hope this works, it does. This is a catalog of agents that work on a single platform, and I'll talk about the benefit of that. And this is a dashboard that your team members would go to every day to see the work that the agent's been doing 24/7, by the way, and prioritize the view that they would need to take to say, okay, how do I move this application forward to funding? In this case, the agent checked across a number of different documents. This is indirect lending, very complicated, different file formats. Agent had to check 54 items. It checked 51 of them and said, okay, it's green. And by the way, you can go in and check and look at them. But the point is, it only found 3 errors. And those 3 errors are the area of focus for your team members. They can double click, they can go make the correction in line and turn it around and continually add to a knowledge base that is proprietary to your bank. And that knowledge base can be extended to other loan types. So in commercial loans, SBA loans, the content and the agent understands the content. And from that standpoint, you can extend to other automations and orchestrations. And then finally, with the Deep GPT agent, you can let your people talk to that content, whether it's the loan application process or just policies and procedures. This is the kind of experience that you expect to deliver to your team members, but more importantly, it's grounded in only your data. It's only your knowledge. You don't have to worry about manufactured insights or hallucinations that come from other sort of common co-pilots and other tool sets. This is an example. You'll recognize these flows. They're very common to back-end banking operations. And people like us because we're a single platform. You don't have to stitch together point solutions. We get you up and running quickly. We advise and recommend, and your business users are driving this. No coding required. We're delivering real value with real customers, and we have a run book to get you up and running quickly. Our team comes from consumer banks, large institutions like MasterCard and JPMorgan Chase. We speak your language. We're only focused on your vertical. And I want to thank you for your time today and for your support of the ICB Accelerator. Thank you.
And now for our final presentation of the day, please welcome from Vertus AI, Tyler Brentley.
Awesome. Real quick poll of folks in the room and folks listening in other rooms and digitally. How many of you at your institution is growth an important or strategic initiative? For how many institutions out there is driving deposits really important right now? All right, if anybody didn't raise their hand, Mike can sign you up for some remedial profitability courses later and get you taken care of there. As Stephanie mentioned, I'm Tyler Brantley. I'm the head of community banking here at Vertus AI. And if you did raise your hand, you're going to want to pay attention because we can help drive sustainable growth for your institutions. Our mission at Vertus is we want to help every community bank know, grow, and measure their customers better. And why? Well, it's because Houston, unfortunately, we have a problem. 74% of consumers out there across all generations want a more personalized banking experience. Unfortunately, only about 22% are getting it, right? And the reason behind this is a data issue, right? Your cores can make it challenging to get the data you need, and many of the systems you have access to are either overbuilt and overpriced or segmented and hard to stitch together to deliver personalization to your customers. The result is right now only 4% of banks feel like they're very effective at using data to drive personalization. At Vertus, we want to flip this all on its head, right? So how do we do that? We're going to use AI to provide personalized recommendations to impact three main areas for your institutions. One is current customer wallet share growth. How do we expand those relationships? The second is how do we reduce churn, and that can be product or holistic customer level. And then the third is how do we acquire net new customers? And the important thing here is it's a net new customer that's a good fit for your bank long term, not just somebody that's in the market for a CD. The kicker on our side is you don't have to add any data scientists to your team. We bring that expertise to the table for you, right? We're about how do we help you know your customers better, grow those relationships, and measure the impact, right? It's about getting the right product in front of the right people at the right time with no added complexity for the bank team. All right, let's talk about know, grow, and measure. You're going to hear me say that a lot today, right? On the know front, we want to help you understand your customers better. What are their wants? What are their needs? What are they in the market for and when, right? We can help you track life cycle journeys for folks. And then most importantly, and this is part of our secret sauce, is we can help you identify high propensity opportunities that are more likely to convert. If you think about growing business at your bank, right? We want to help you identify those opportunities, get to highly targeted lists very quickly, and then take actionable steps, including generating personalized and compliant content. We'll show you some of that in action in a minute. The last thing is measure, right? This is really important at Vertus. We don't want to just set you free and say, hey, good luck, hope it works, right? We want to make sure you can show and demonstrate value and ROI on the effort that your marketing and sales teams are putting in. So we give you plenty of great reporting, and we can show you some of that in the demo in a moment too. A quick peek under the hood. So how do we do all this at Vertus? With as little as 50 fields, we can actually run your customer base through our engines and score every one of your customers, show you who your best customers are, kind of your A-level customers, right? They're probably your most profitable, probably longer tenure with the bank, right? Probably have a greater diversity of products. And then who are your kind of lower bottom of the barrel customers, right? The zombie checking accounts are the people that signed up for a CD last fall, right? But haven't done anything since, right? What we also do is we run your entire customer base against every one of your products that you offer at the bank. And we'll give you a propensity score on those products for them. In this case, you can see here, Jane's a great fit for an auto loan, right? but she's not going to be a good fit for a CD. So don't waste your time and marketing energy, right, or your business banking team's time right here offering those CDs, right? The same is true on the commercial side of the house. We can help you ID a business, right, that has some great loans with you, but clearly doesn't have an operating account or uses treasury services elsewhere, right? It's about right product in front of the right person at the right time. So let's see Vertus in action in a little bit here. Key thing I'll call out, I'll take some precious seconds to do this. No PII, no real-time core integration. Once again, no PII, no real-time core integration, right? So we can get you up and running quickly, right? And we don't have to integrate to your core. All right, let's walk you through a quick journey of building out a growth opportunity. You can see here, how do we know our customer base? These are those A customers in the top. Those G customers at the bottom, we want to help them grow, right? Our mission at Vertus is how do we get more people to the top of this mountain, right? If we think about knowing the customer base, we can understand who their products, what their products are, what their life cycle stage might be. There's a whole host of analytics, including transactional data, that we can use to help drive good growth opportunities for the bank. So let's do that right here. Let's build a checking campaign together in about, 60 seconds. We're going to go through a checking campaign. This bank has 18,000 customers. We can see 7,100 have some propensity to take a checking account, but we don't want to spray and pray in our marketing. We want to be highly targeted. So we can slide that to just the high propensity folks, say in a geographic area, Chicagoland, and we tighten that group to 1,900 folks we're going after, good high propensity. We can now action out on that and build a marketing campaign within Vertus. Set a time frame, maybe between now and Labor Day, run a nice summer checking campaign. We can figure out our channels, email, digital banner, social media. We can do direct mailer or call scripts for your business banking team. And then we're going to sub-segment this even further. It's not just a good list, but we want to make sure we're not sending the boomer and the college student the same messaging, right? That's not personalized if they're all getting the same thing. So we'll come up with 6 different emails, 6 different digital banner ads, 6 different social media posts that all form to your brand voice, look, feel, tone, et cetera, your product details. And in the background, what we're doing is we're hitting all this content against FDIC and regulatory guidelines, right? So you're getting a safety net there of, hey, we're producing good compliant content. And then more importantly, is it tonally appropriate for the various age groups we're going after, right? Here we've got our measurement piece, tons of great reporting and data we can dig into. Would love to do that on a follow-up with you. So wrapping it up, why Vertus and why now? We work with over 31 community FIs, big range of assets. We don't need PII and we don't need real-time core integration, but we are SOC 2 Type 2 certified, just in case, right? And we have really simple, straightforward pricing. At the end of the day, we let our results speak for themselves, right? Our institutions have higher account open rates for deposits and for loans and higher averages on those as well, right? If we started in Houston with a problem, Boulder, at Vertus, we have the solution. Thank you for your time today. I hope you vote for us for the Banker's Choice Award. And if you'd like to learn more, please find me or Mitch tomorrow at the barbecue. We'd love to help you grow your organization more effectively. Thank you so much, Boulder.
Thank you, Tyler. Can we please give another round of applause for our presenters? They all did such a great job. I feel like a proud mama right now. All right, now it's time to vote for Banker's Choice. So I'm gonna ask everybody to take out your cell phones, scan this QR code, and to our friends watching online, we're gonna place a link on the Zoom chat for you. Please click on the link and go ahead and select which of these 6 companies are more likely to offer long-term value to ICBA Bank members. Please take a minute to vote. We're gonna leave the code up for about 60 seconds. Please vote only one time. You get one vote. This is not Broward County, Florida back in 2000. I used to live there, so still fresh. And while you vote, I'll take a minute to remind everyone that tomorrow, during your GSBC-sponsored barbecue lunch, all 6 cohort companies will have a table right outside these doors. They'll have their laptops if anybody's interested in seeing a live demo. We'll have some swag and some giveaways, and it's an opportunity for you to have a follow-up conversation if you are interested in any of these companies today. So please stop by their tables tomorrow during lunch to say hello, grab a business card, or scan a QR code, or grab some goodies. right, votes are coming in. Yep. All right. Okay, thank you everybody for voting. We're gonna compile the votes here in the back. And while we do this, we typically hand out 3 awards during showcase. And today we're gonna start with the MVP award, Most Valuable Participant. This award is a special recognition given to one cohort member based on overall participation, progress, engagement, bank visit feedback, and long-term value to ICBA members. And to present this award, I am going to ask my boss, Wayne Miller, to come up and share a few words.
Thanks, Steph. Great job, team. You were all MVPs in my mind. You know, we've been doing this for a while. This is our 9th cohort, our 7th year. And the amount of effort that these folks put in to really shape and mold these solutions for community banks is dramatic. They're at this for 10 weeks. Tracy knows the story. He was a 12-weeker, actually, back before COVID. And we were doing all that on the premise in Little Rock, Arkansas, where they would move for 12 weeks. And we drank and ate a lot, that's for sure. It was a good time. But, you know, this is not about us trying to, as a team here at ICBA, make selections in a vacuum. This is supported by 30 bankers, one of who is here from our selection committee, Christian Roop from Colony, who's worked with us and was a founder in the first accelerator that we had back in 2017. But these 30 bankers play a big role in helping us decide what is relevant and how do we direct our efforts to pick the right solutions that are meaningful. And the program then starts to help them shape and mold their solutions very specifically for community banks. The MVP this year, and I genuinely mean that they all are, is a company that came into this program in the first week. And frankly, I didn't know if they were going to make it. It wasn't that their solution wasn't great. It wasn't that they didn't have the skill sets. It wasn't that they didn't have the right people. It wasn't that they weren't a proved concept. But selling and building technology for community banks is different. And I remember the expression on their face the first day was, oh my God, what have we gotten ourselves into? As they sat and talked with a number of bankers in the first week that we have in this program, which is really about optimizing their understanding of community banking. And the way that they have transformed, they've met with over 100 banks. These are 3.5-hour sessions. How many of you, has anybody ever done the accelerator program in here? Well, that's great. I hope you have, and you should sign up and participate in it. They spend 3.5 hours twice a day meeting with banks in private visits, where each of them get a chance to pitch for about 25 or 30 minutes. And not in an environment that's about selling their product or solution, but rather, here's the problem I'm solving, here's the solution that we're trying to present, here is how our solution works, here's the demonstration of the product, and what do you think? And this is a very safe environment we've created for both the bankers and the fintechs to collaborate effectively around these solutions. And to that end, they have completely changed the way in which they're going to market for community banks. They have leveraged their skill sets in an extraordinary fashion, and their dialogue and their talk track and the way in which they present today has been transformed over this 10 weeks. So with that, let me congratulate and welcome up to the stage Deep Sea. What do you think, Steve? It was a pretty tough first week, wasn't it?
We ate a lot of sin that first week. And Wayne's understating the first day. We all sort of looked at each other and said, we're in trouble. But I have to say, I've done a couple of these, as has the team. And the level of constructive feedback we got, I think, was key to this. And it was a whole bunch of bankers participating. And it was also all of them. I just sat and sort of like was dumbfounded. And Colleen and Ryan and another gentleman who's not here with us today, Armin, did a great job really taking that feedback and being constructive about it. But it really did open up a whole different world for us. And we're excited to be in it. We're excited to be partnering. We love the conversations we're having with folks in the community banking sector. And we think it's a great, I mean, we started with big banks, like the worst. And is this being filmed? Okay. But they are hard and they are different and they live in a different space. And I think what we've figured out is that the innovation is really happening in this sector, in this area. So we're really excited. Wayne got us in at the last moment and we were very excited to be in there except for that first day. And then after that, it's just been a wonderful experience. So we're very, thank you to Stephanie and Charles and the rest of the team at ICBA to be participating.
Awesome. Good done. Thank you all.
Congratulations, Deep Sea. All right, next award is All Heart. The All Heart Award celebrates the individual who embodies unparalleled passion, empathy, and genuine commitment in their endeavors. The All Heart Award recognizes those whose actions consistently reflect a deep and sincere investment in the well-being of others, demonstrating an unwavering dedication to making a positive impact on those around them, including community bankers, their fellow cohort members, and the ICBA staff. And wait, please, right next to me, already to present the award for All Heart. It goes to, drum roll, please, the founding team at Clockout. Would you like to say a few words, Juan?
Yes, of course. Thank you. Well, I honestly was not expecting for us to get this award, but I'm very glad we did. We've been working very hard for the past 10 weeks. We were stoked to have the opportunity to be part of the program. For us at the early stage that we're in, being able to, we always talk about what is really an accelerator. We've gone through Techstars and others, and it's not about the capital, it's about being able to talk to potential customers and potential partners, and nothing is really more valuable than that. And we've been able to refine our value proposition, our pitch, and I think we stayed pretty consistent with an improvement over time, and we couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity. Steph, Wayne, all the ICBA team, you guys are awesome. And Armando, Vlad as well. This wouldn't have been able to make happen without you guys as well. So thank you. I appreciate it.
And I want to thank, to be honest, in order for us to have that passion heart, it really comes from the foundation of what you guys did here at ICBA, right? It's a ripple effect, right? It starts with you and it comes from us, and we can really push forward. And thank you, and thank all the bankers as well.
All right, and now the moment that you have all been waiting for, Banker's Choice. Did everybody get a chance to vote? Because if you didn't, now it's too late. All right, so I'm gonna ask Lauren for the yellow envelope. Drum roll, por favor. The winner for Banker's Choice, sponsored by Fiserv. Thank you, Fiserv, for being here. The winner is Vertus AI. Tyler and Mitch, please come up. would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you to the bankers. We couldn't do this without you. Literally, you guys voted for us. So we appreciate that. But thank you for taking the time. Yeah, it's a direct correlation. It's great. But truly, thank you for taking the time to be with the entire cohort today. We have an amazing set of 6 companies, total including us, that we get a chance to work with. And it's been an honor to kind of live beside all 5 of the others the last 10 weeks. Huge thank you to the ICPA. It's been repeated. The programming that you guys put us through is unprecedented in the industry. Right? It's the best that's out there. And we couldn't refine our product and make it better for you, the bankers, at the end of the day. I think one of the things that's important to us at Virtus is this idea of personalization, right? And it's something that really drew me to the team here at Virtus, but also our mission to help drive those relationships, which is what you as community bankers are about, right? It's how you impact your communities every day where you are. And so we're honored to get a chance to serve you as you serve the Main Street of America, what we do every day. So thank you for an opportunity to be here. And thank you again for the support. It's a huge honor. Mitch?
Congratulations again to the Virtus team and all of our winners this afternoon. Before I hand it off for closing, I personally just want to take a few minutes to say thank you to the cohort, all 6 companies that have spent the last 9 weeks with us. They have 1 more virtual week to go. Just thank you for their time, their commitment, for showing up, for being here, for taking in the feedback from our bankers, taking in the feedback from our team, and making this what it is. Obviously, we spent a whole lot of time together on Zoom over the last 9 weeks, and we all have really gotten a chance to know each other, and we're just super proud of you guys. And as we've mentioned before, this is not an ending, it's a beginning. As you all graduate the program and become corporate members, you'll have more opportunities to interact with our bankers, so thank you for that. I also want to personally thank our team, #TeamSlay, to Lauren, Lauren and Amelia, thank you so much for all your help. I can't do what I do every day without you, so thank you. Tian from our events team, who makes sure that everybody is fed the whole time we're together, who handles all the logistics and the swag, thank you so much. And of course, our leaders, Kevin and Charles, thank you for your faith in this team and all of your support, appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna ask Mike Stevens and Wayne Miller to close us out tonight. Thank you, everybody.
So we get to wrap this up, you and me, huh?
I think they're ready.
Did you guys enjoy this? So we have a lead forward registrant winner from Bank Midwest, Rick Risavi. Do I have it right? Rick, come on up here. You get 3 shots at the car. No, I'm just kidding. No, just want to say thanks, and we will get in touch. Checks in the mail, as they say, and we'll give you a chance. And thanks for doing that. And I think you'll enjoy the event. It's great, and it's really about what this is all about, which is getting all of you equipped for the next generation of operating our banks in this country, which are so important. So thanks for doing that. Awesome, good dealing. Thanks. So our second year doing this. Last year was a little bit of a crapshoot. And I'm gonna hold your feet against the fire. How'd we do this year? Because you invited us back, as Charles said, and I'm glad you did that. But I thought it was a great day, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Mike, would love to get your impressions.
So, yeah, we had no idea what to expect. Tried to communicate to our students what we didn't really fully understand, and they couldn't fully understand either. They embraced it. And now we all know better. I was telling you earlier, I said my inspiration was this morning as I was running into students in the hallway and stuff, and they said, can't wait for tonight. Looking forward to tonight. So they had a better sense about it. We knew how to talk about it. We instantly, right after the session, connected. Last year, connected. We liked it. We've got ideas. you liked it, you had ideas, and the two teams went about implementing it. One was to move it up earlier in the session, do it in the first week. We were crunched up with our board of trustees and graduation and everything. It was a lot. And so I think the timing was a lot better. And we connected it to our Committed to Lead program. But overall, I talked a lot about Rooted for Growth, our session theme. But we have a strong foundation and a belief in bolder banking, meaning that the industry needs bold thinking, bold leadership, bold bankers. You can't get any more bolder banking than you guys bringing this and providing this opportunity to our students. I am very grateful for your team's work.
Awesome. Mike, thank you. We appreciate it. And I'll leave you with just one thought, as Charles mentioned earlier in his opening remarks, is that innovation's not optional anymore. I ask you all to think about the strategic plans that you built 3 years ago, and with the advent of artificial intelligence, have they already become obsolete? Our industry's changing rapidly. We're trying to do our best to help be a Sherpa on this journey, and we're here to help you. If you need help, reach out to us. We talk to 1,000 companies a year in this space, and even if they don't make it into the program, we're happy to point you in the right direction. We're trying to make sure these folks are well prepared with their due diligence, that they bring case studies and they bring proof. One of my favorite expressions is community banks like to be first to be third. And I say that in a loving manner, but it's also very true. We tend to be a bit of fast followers, but we can help point you in the right direction. And we're grateful to all of you who helped make this program successful and for your time and energy today, to this cohort that just killed it. And that's all I got to say. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.